Hello and welcome to XLOOKUP Basics. My name's Jeff, I'm glad you're here. Let's just jump right in. By the end of this short video, you'll understand the fundamentals of the XLOOKUP function, which is literally one of the best functions in all of Excel. Let's head straight to exercise 1. Here we have a list of products. And what we want to do is allow the user to type in a product ID and return the product name. Traditionally, we may have approached something like this with the VLOOKUP function. The problem is our lookup column is here, and the return column is to the left. And this is something that VLOOKUP isn't designed to handle. Fortunately, XLOOKUP can handle this easily. Equals XLOOKUP. So we want to go find this, comma, in here. Now you'll notice we simply defined the lookup column, not the entire table range. And that means we can pick and choose where the lookup column is. In other words, column order doesn't matter. Comma, and we want to go return this. Here you'll notice we provide a range reference for the return column, and not like some column index number like we're used to doing with VLOOKUP. And then we just close the function and enter. And now we can see P106 is webcam, and that is correct. And what if we wanted to look up P108? We just change this to 108, enter, and it returns USB hub. Perfect. So those are the first 3 required arguments of the XLOOKUP function. Go find this, in here, and return this. And in addition to these required arguments, there are some optional arguments. Let's take a look at the next one in the next exercise. Exercise 2. Okay, let's get our basic XLOOKUP function working. Equals XLOOKUP. Once again, we want to go find this, comma, in here, comma, and this time we want to return the category. Close function and enter. So far, so good. What happens though if that product ID can't be found? Well, let's go back here and let's enter a number that's not in the list. How about 120? Enter. And as you can see, we get an NA error. In this case, that's not a big deal, but if there were some other formulas that depended on this result, those formulas would inherit this NA error. And so this NA error would sort of trickle down through all the dependent formulas. So what if we wanted to control this output? Instead of showing an error that trickles down, what if we wanted to return a different result? Well, what we can do is we can just add the next argument, if not found. And here we can provide a value that would be returned instead of the error. And here we can enter a number, we can enter another expression, or we could enter a text string enclosed in quotes. Let's say not found. Close function and enter. And now as you can see, we've gracefully replaced this error. Okay, and let me set this back to 104. Cool. And now what if we also want to return the price? Well, if we're used to VLOOKUP, what that would mean is another formula. But with XLOOKUP, it can actually return multiple columns. So actually, let me remove this so it's easier to see. Okay. And now, instead of returning just the category column, we can expand this selection to also include the price column and enter. And now as you can see, this one formula returns multiple column values. In other words, when we're saying return this, that argument can contain multiple columns. And that's pretty cool. Now there's a couple of additional arguments, so let's take a look at those in the next exercise. Exercise 3. Instead of finding an exact match, let's say we wanted to find a partial match. Well, let's start with our XLOOKUP function. We want to go find this, comma, in here, comma, and we want to return this. Close function and enter. And we get an error because this term is not found, because this term is not an exact match to any of these product names. But we know Excel supports wildcards, like the asterisk. So what if we were to just add an asterisk before and after the term desk and enter? Unfortunately, that still returns an error, but there's an easy fix. All we need to do is skip over if not found and go to the match mode argument. Here we can select 2, which means wild character match. So I'll enter 2 and enter. And now you can see this does a match. So what this is really doing is saying find a partial match. Any number of characters before the word desk and any number of characters after. And by default, just like VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP starts at the top and searches down. But what if we wanted to start at the bottom and search up? Could we do that? Absolutely. Let's come back over here and let's take a look at the search mode argument. By default, it searches first to last, but we can change this to a -1 to search last to first. Close function and enter. And now you can see it starts at the bottom and searches up. And here it found desk organizer P112, and that's what is returned. Cool? All right, cool. So what we learned is the column order doesn't matter to XLOOKUP because we define the lookup and return columns independently. We discovered that there's an if not found argument that enables us to replace an error with the value of our choice. We learned that the return range column can actually be multiple columns, so it can return multiple values. We learned that we could do partial matches by enabling wildcards. And we learned that we could also search last to first. As you can see, this is a pretty great function. Hopefully this has been helpful. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Hey Excel user, if you ever need to create summary reports, check out my pivot table for beginners video. It starts at the beginning and shows how to store the data transactions in a table and then how to summarize those transactions with a pivot table report. I hope it helps unlock the incredible power of pivot tables.
This video is a production of Excel University.